Hey guys, it's Isaac Kuehn from VSM Real Estate. I'm back here at our Lea property. Today, I'm gonna be going over the whole story, telling this story of this property from beginning to end. From the time when me and Jackson came here and slept, to the time Adam and the crew were out here putting the last tile pieces in. Let's go in and check it out. Let's start off the story when me and Jackson first came here and we slept here the first night. This property did not look the same at all. Me and Jackson were not excited to stay here whatsoever. There was mold in the kitchen, there was rats in the basement, but that didn't stop us at all. Let's go back and check that footage out. Welcome to the intern VSM vlog takeover.
Yup.
You may be wondering where we are right now. We are at...
Where are we? I don't even know where we are.
We're at Lea, one of VSM's and Syndicate Holdings flips. And Classic Property Services is gonna be doing the rehab. Me and Jackson right here.
Yep.
This is Jackson, I'm Isaac. We have very great bosses, right? And our bosses were like, oh, you guys should sleep at the property.
To get to know it.
Yeah, to get to know it better, to do the demo. I know Dario is gonna love this. He's on vacation right now, because Dario goes on vacation like every single weekend. He kind of works Monday through Tuesday. So Jackson and I just been walking through this place, checking out all the things that it has to offer.
All
really.
the fun things.
All the fun things. There's not much here, to be honest. Yeah, I kicked a hole in this wall. And Dario's gonna like this, but I wore Vans to do the demo. So that's how that's gonna work out. This is the light we're working with now, and this is our bed area.
That's where we're sleeping.
Yeah, this is where we're sleeping. I had to go pick up 2 blankets at the good old Walmart before this. We got our green lantern in here. There's
Bedtime. No, never bedtime.
Alright, so we're up now. We slept on the ground. There was mold in the corner that we breathed in all night, which is good. Now we gotta take down this wall and do whatever he says. And then I think we're done for the day. I know Goran's gonna come back and mess with us, but we'll have fun. Alright, so me and Jackson are plugging away. We took out this wall. We took out this wall. And then we gotta clean all this up. Coming through, we're gonna take out this closet. We're stripping all the old cabinets out, taking out the walls. So then over here, what happened was he took out the shower door, and we have our dumpster over here, and he kind of threw it and the glass went everywhere. So that's an extra expense on Dario. He's gotta pay for that, but overall, we're gonna keep plugging away and finish this off. So after me and Jackson had a good days of work here with the KPS crew, their work did not stop. They were in here day in, day out, getting all these details perfect. Let's go check out the first vlog I did with Gorn and Dario.
You're getting all hung up on imaginary problems. You gotta focus on what's real, man.
All right, so we're here at our Lea property. This is a full addition plus a garage. We need to check it out. I think the guys made a lot of progress since this weekend. And before we go to our Bridgewater event, I figured we probably do a walkthrough just to see that everything is tip-top, which I'm pretty sure it is. So let's do it. The fireplace. Where's that one? Scott's gonna cut it out. He's at the sink, check it out. Adam's over there washing his hands.
This is our island right here.
Oh, that's the island?
It's going to look beefy because we'll put the cabinets inside of it and it'll just make
like a Commodore.
Beefy, extra chunky cabinet.
Extra chunky.
Like the Commodore.
Like the Commodore.
I almost wanted to do this wall.
I think it's supposed to be, oh yeah, it's a 3-panel door right here. Well, they argue about the fireplace, whether or not it's going to be sleek, modern, 10 grand, 5 grand. We're going to wrap this project up.
So during these vlogs, Gorn and Dario debated what details they were going to put in. Quartz countertops, what were they going to do for the floors? Was there going to be a pantry or not? But over the time, with working with Adam and the rest of the KPS crew, they came up with these wonderful details. Gorn didn't even know if they were going to put in the fireplace, but Dario needed that fireplace, and it turned out great. What is that, Dario?
sexy modern fireplace.
This is my house. Man, I hope one day when I make it rich, put a chandelier like that.
Yep, I'll send you an email. So Stas, I don't think you know much about what this place used to look like, but the house ended right here. Laundry room here. It's pretty big and spacious. Yeah, we do tile in our laundry room.
Laundry room?
That's how we do it.
What?
That's how we do it.
Oh, this is real. This is like, whoa. This is like that. Is this little who lives here? Yeah, exactly.
This was the garage was the addition here as well. Wow. This is a oversized two-car garage.
On the deck as well then, so.
Right.
There's a little bit more everything.
Right, but we got it done. We just said that he was going to be putting it together, and guess what? The city was like, approved. Thank you, sir. Okay, so we're about a week away from completely listing this property on the MLS. Maybe we're actually going to be selling it before it hits MLS. We have a couple people doing a walkthrough next week. We're also going to be staging it on Thursday, at which point Isaac is going to come back with some more videos, drones, just for marketing purposes. But how long has this been since we first got the property?
Since we first got the property, it's been about 4 months. Took us about 3 weeks to get the architectural plans done and all the permits approved before we can come in and start doing the work. So
I also sat down with Dario Classic, the master builder of this home. He had a lot of different things to say when it comes from design all the way to architects to managing his crew. Let's go talk to him. So once you guys acquired the property and knew you guys were gonna flip it, what was the process designing it and kind of going from a 2-bedroom to a 4-bedroom to adding a garage? What was that process like?
So a lot of people that looked at this property, they wanted to do a tear down and a new build, and the advantage of us coming in with our design team and thinking outside the box, we came in and looked at the property and saw potential for a kitchen addition, as well as turning the existing garage into a living room, and then also building out the entire basement. So we had our architect come in, we told him what we wanted to do, and he drew it up, which we made a few changes here and there, but everything kind of made sense to where it flowed properly. Open floor plan, we had 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, and at that point we knew that we were ready to proceed.
So I know one time during the build that you guys actually had to expand the kitchen, even past what you originally thought. What was your decision behind that?
At first we were just kind of looking at what our numbers going to be able to support, even adding a kitchen. So we only bumped it out a little bit, and then once we got into the whole project and found out, hey, we're gonna have to do a lot more than we thought anyway, so might as well just do a full build out in the kitchen and go all out, because
making it like that 600,000.
We wanted that wow factor when you first come in, and I think if we went with the original, we wouldn't have got the wow factor. So we ended up bumping the whole kitchen and living room, dining room out an extra 5-6 feet. So now when you come in, you can definitely
really
feel the opening there.
Yeah, it's definitely there too. Going off the wow factor, how did you guys pick the details, like such as the tiles, that sexy fireplace that you wanted, to the carpet downstairs? Who was the design team, and how did you guys pick that?
I think a lot of the stuff kind of came in as we were working on the project. But in the beginning, we didn't even know what we were going to do to the fireplace, and then we kind of started thinking about, well, how do we tie the room together and make it a little more functional versus kind of like an octagon that it was. And to put in a fireplace in a wall there was definitely something that made most sense. And then Nikki and Rocky team, they came together and helped us pick out some of the finishes, and I've got that same stone on my fireplace at home, and I loved it and thought that it would bring a lot of brightness to the room, because there's not a lot of sunlight in there, so we needed some bright finishes to make it open and light and modern.
Yeah, that's what everyone was saying during the open houses when they came in. They looked at the fireplace and they looked at the stones, and they're like, wow, that it really does tie the room together. So as you guys were going through the project, picking out the details, working with the architect, as the contractor, what were some of the challenges you had managing your crew?
I think we didn't really have a lot of challenge in managing our day-to-day crew, because those guys have been working with us for over 2-3 years now. Getting some of the guys out there to do the block and the concrete work is something that we don't have in-house, which was a bit challenging just because everybody's been busy this past year, and getting those guys to come in at the right numbers and also to come in on time and get the work done. But we got a pretty good company that came out and got that all squared away, but I think that was our biggest challenge, is to find a good masonry subcontractor that was not gonna upcharge as much as everybody else has been lately as far as concrete goes. And so that was probably the biggest challenge, but we kind of got through it and got over it, and I think it turned out to be a great product.
Yeah, it did. It all turned out great. What about Adam?
Adam, I know kind of how to work with him. He's all over the place every now and then, as you can see in some of the videos.
It wrapped just like that one.
Yeah.
And wall this. I've been staring at it down there. Fix this step and leave a carpeted step here. Give me a number on this.
Right.
I don't need a cabinet, but this post is bothering me.
It's on video. Sometimes he gets a little carried, and sometimes he wants to do a little bit more expensive stuff because he cares about the quality of it. But we have to keep the budget in mind and make sure that we spend the money in the right places. That way the customer that buys the property is going to be satisfied, and we're also going to deliver a high quality product.
There were so many other people involved with this project on top of Goran and Daria and all those guys. I sat down with Allison Rudine, she's the operations manager at KPS, to talk about all the other people involved and some of the issues they ran into during this build. Check this out.
Who are the people that were involved with this project? I know that at the surface it kind of just looks like Dario and Goran and Adam were the only ones there, but there's a lot more.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that there are many people involved. in the background of things. Before the renovation even gets started, we have to have excavators on site. We have to get insulators, the foundation guys on site. We had to dig up a lot of the property, and one of the issues with that we found out kind of later on, which really hurt us and put us back, was we found out that there was a well underneath the garage foundation once we poured it. So that actually put us back about 2 or 3 weeks because we had to, per the city requirements, go in and dig that well out and get it out. And that was a lot. So we had to get a well guy out there. You know, we had to get driveway guys out there to install driveways, garage guys to get garage doors out.
So a lot of subcontractors on top of like all the other guys that were doing the framing, the tile work, the installing the cabinets, all that.
Everybody, yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that there's so much paperwork involved. You have to go to the city. You know, this one was City of Bloomington. We have to make sure that everything is spot on per their requirements. Otherwise, you know, we get pushed back, kind of like the well thing. We have to stay on time. We have to stay in the budget. And once that kind of stuff happens, it's tough to do. But we make it work, and somehow this one came through. It was a great project to work on. Lots of stuff that we learned. But
I know Dario, like in some of the logs, are like, it's gonna be like 100,000. It's gonna be like 150,000.
It kept going
It's
up.
gonna be like $200,000
Yeah.
for this.
Every week it went up, probably 10 grand.
Yeah, but it turned out great though. So what were some of the things? What were your tasks and some of your responsibilities in this project?
So for this one, I had to be the one to contact the city a lot. I mean, Dario did show up there and pull the permits and everything, but I did contact the cities. When Adam was on site and he needed things like dumpsters, we didn't need a porta potty here, but that's an example of something like that. I would have to schedule those, make sure that all of the invoices are in, make sure all of the receipts are in. That receipts on a project like this, oh, we probably got 55, 60 receipts every 2 weeks or so.
Wow.
So every minor detail that people don't realize.
Keeping track of all the expenses.
If we can do these windows for 59 with tax, we got a deal.
Gorin, we already have a deal.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Every light fixture, every piece of tile, we have to make sure that we have it accounted for. And if we don't, our numbers are off. It's not a good thing.
Wow.
Dario's not happy.
So the guys at VSM had to do a lot of due diligence and a lot of planning to make this type of home come through and to be built. I sat down with Gorin and Ryan, the CEO and the CFO of VSM Real Estate, to talk to them about what went into a build like this. Check these out.
Oh, this is the closest it will go.
I feel like we should be like right here.
So when it came to finding the property, how did you guys go about that?
So many deals that we get, usually it's a referral from a business associate, friend, whatever. In this instance, we worked directly with Mark Rania from Exceptional Investments. He initially sent me an email saying, hey, this is a property you might want to take a look at, which we did. So Dario and I drove over there to West Bloomington to walk the property. That's the first thing you have to do, kind of, is just walk the property, get the feel for it, look at the numbers, and decide what you want it to do. Initially, we thought we were going to have to tear it down, but in order to, save on costs and put all that money back into improving the interior and the layout, we decided to do a major remodel, or addition in this case, which turned out to be, in my eyes, a much better solution.
Yeah, so when you guys first found it, like you said, you thought it was going to be a tear down, but you guys thought you could remodel it. What was your vision for the design of it, and how did you, working with the architect, how did you guys kind of come up with the design?
Yeah, so both Dario and I, we have good design skills. I would say that we have above average design skills. Now, for the most part, we don't take, especially when we do a find, fix, and rent, we basically do the design work ourselves. On a major remodel like this one, we wanted to kind of eliminate any of the mistakes. So we had the overall vision that him and I agreed on, and we brought that over to the architect and told them, hey, we want to have this, we want to have that, these are the must-haves, etc. Let us know what you can come up with. So we went through a couple different drawings with the architect until we finally say, hey, that's the vision, it's on paper, now we can take this to the city and get the necessary approvals and permits and begin construction.
So when you guys acquire the property and working with architects, how did you guys piece the financial side together?
Well, it was a multi-step process. So we had both the acquisition piece of the existing property that we had to consider. We had to consider what the after repair value would be of it once it was all said and done. And then the construction piece was kind of the variable that I didn't have a lot to do with. That was Dario's main role within it. It was coming up with those construction numbers. But what we do is we try and stay within an 80% cost to value ratio. So if we're going to be into this for, let's say, $400,000, we want it to be worth about $500,000 roughly once it's all said and done. That way we can have the money for carrying costs, commissions on the way out, and still have something left over at the end. So that's kind of how we did the financial evaluation of this project as we're going into it.
Moving forward, what would you guys take away from this build if you're going to do another one, the next one?
Well, I've enjoyed this particular project because it's in a very mature and fairly prestigious area where you just simply cannot find new product. Everything is pretty old and tired. Where it's located in Bloomington, it has what I call the Edina creep, basically.
That's what I found during the open houses. A lot of people are either looking at new construction in Edina, or they came over here because they wanted that bigger lot and then more privacy.
Right. So I found that to be a pretty competitive property in both of the respects that you mentioned. You could go farther out to Eden Prairie or Chaska and get new construction. You could go to Edina and spend twice as much for the same thing. You could go east in Bloomington and, you know, not be in the area that's as affluent and, you know, desirable. So we kind of had a lot of things going for it. Its proximity to Minneapolis being one of them, Bush Lake and Highland Park and all those kinds of things. So I think it's somewhat of an anomaly that this property even became available to us. Nowadays we're really struggling to find properties that fit this MO, which is why, you know, we're building new construction down in Cottage Grove and in Roseville. Simply put, there's not a lot of luxury home products out there that you can just buy and fix up, make nice, and flip like we did with this one at Golden
This is Lea Road. There's been a lot of challenges, but even more success. I want to thank Classic Property Services for doing such a great job and everyone involved, from Dario to Adam to Allison to the rest of the subcontractors. And I want to give a huge shout out to VSM Real Estate for doing a great job of listing this property. And if you're interested in looking at this property or doing a showing, feel free to contact me. I'm Isaac Kuehn with VSM Real Estate, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.